Somewhere right now, a founder is betting everything on a vision nobody else can see yet. A CEO is making one call that changes everything. And a leader is finally stepping into who they were always meant to be. The difference between those who dream it and those who build it? They found the right ingredients. I'm Julie Riga. This is Stay on Course Ingredients for Success, and you just pulled up a seat at the right table.
Stay on course, find the ingredients inside of you. A little courage, a little grace, the legacy you leave is the life you choose. Stay on course, every story's got a recipe. So pull up a seat, take your place, and cook up who you're meant to be.
Welcome, everyone, to the next edition of the Stay on Course podcast. Today, I have Malcolm Reid Sr. He is the founder of Pro Global Business Advisors, where more than 11 years, he's helped over 1,000 coaches around the world. He is known for his integrity-first approach and strong stance against hype-driven coaching, and Malcolm equips ethical coaches with systems, tools, and support they need to serve small business owners, create lasting impact. And today we are going to talk about ingredients for success for the modern generalist, kicking the Hopium habit. Welcome, Malcolm, to the Stay on Course podcast.
Hey, Julie, so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. We're going to have a great conversation. But, Malcolm, before we get started, I ask all of my guests, what is your favorite food?
I love whole red snapper. Love it.
How is it prepared?
Depends. Like if I, go to a Mexican restaurant, they fry it with some peppers and jalapenos and onions, or I can go, say, to a Puerto Rican restaurant where they'll grill it with different herbs and spices, or I may go to a local place where they'll deep fry it. So I like it all kinds of ways. But I love me some red snapper, whole red snapper.
All right. That sounds great. It's amazing. So Malcolm, tell everybody what you're busy working on. What's the new thing?
Well, just back in 2022, right, we built a technology that allowed business coaches to find multiple six figures of hidden revenue in a small business and do it in less than an hour, right? Without them increasing ad spend on marketing or hiring new employees. Something like that used to take weeks, if not months. And then now we've taken out that same methodology and we are able to find those outcomes in mere minutes.
Oh my gosh. Everybody is sitting on the edge of their seats wondering how you do this, Malcolm.
And that's interesting. I wrote a book that outlined these no and low cost strategies because, Julie, what it is you hear all the hype telling you, people are so distracted by all the noise that tells them, all you have to do is build a funnel and then you can be successful. All you have to do is do this. And these strategies that we use, they're tested and they're proven. It's not about spending more money on ads or marketing. If you can't connect with the problem your audience already has and you're spending money on marketing, you're just wasting it down the drain. So we just focus on hidden opportunities, basic, simple strategies that anybody can implement. And we just put them together in the process that allow small business owners to get that unfair advantage.
All right. Well, I want to learn more about that because every small business owner needs an unfair advantage because it is just so hard. It's so hard to start up and deal with the bumps and bruises on the journey. But I'm excited to talk about this modern generalist idea. Tell us about that.
Yeah. And that's in line with what we're working on because, as you know, we've all been taught that throughout the years, the specialist was the one that was highly sought after and highly and appropriately compensated. So if I am the guru at this one thing, well, then I became someone that was sought after. Well, that's different now, especially with the advent of AI and the different technologies that are available today, right? The person who can utilize these technologies and these tools to offer more things to their clients and do it faster, less expensive, that person's going to be a lot more valuable. And so that's that power of the generalist. You've heard the saying, a jack of all trades is a master of none. Yeah, that had a negative connotation to it. Like, you got your hands into too many things. You need to focus on one thing. Well, most people don't know that that's not where that quote ends. That quote says the jack of all trades is a master of none, but it's a whole lot better than just a master of one. And in today's world with technology, that person who can do multiple things, for example, we just told you we can find these results in minutes. Well, think about a business coach or advisor who can not only find a small business owner this hidden opportunity, but then they can turn around and deliver on it, meaning they don't have to watch a video. They don't have to show up to a bunch of coaching sessions. The technology will build what it found. So if it found hidden opportunities, they can now deliver. And so think about that person who can offer 7, 8, 9, 10 different services and do it quickly versus having to hire 7, 8, or 9 different companies who are disjointed, don't understand how to work together or play together, in a good manner that's going to be good for the business owner. That's what I mean about the generalist. The more you can do, the faster you can deliver, the more in demand you're going to be.
It's true. It's true. Now, it's funny because some of the work that I do, I show up as a coach, consultant, AI expert. I'm also a trainer. And the last thing I tell people is a friend, because that's really what I end up being. I'm all things to business owners, because right now, if you have the skill set to serve in that capacity, there's so much that you can do. And it's so fast.
Yes.
It's so fast.
Yeah.
Because AI has literally made us superhuman.
It has, and the thing is, Julie, as you know, things are changing so rapidly. At one point, when something new came out, people would be like, I'm going to wait until the early adapters kind of fix all the bugs and then I'll jump on board. You don't have that time anymore. And the technology is so good and it's changing so rapidly. Change you must, or irrelevant you will become.
It's true. Oh my gosh. So I started with ChatGPT, and then I became obsessed with Claude.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to learn. I'm dabbling. I'm gonna get into Vive coding. I'm gonna do it all. I don't want to be the person that doesn't know anything. Like, I want to know everything. And it's just, and we were talking just before about creators.
Yeah.
We both come from a creative kind of background, musical background.
Yes.
And as musicians, as creators, it's very funny. When you are a creator, you create. Okay. And that's the bottom line, because that's jack of all trades. It could be art, it could be painting, it could be, I'll tell you like all the things I got into. I got into like jewelry making and painting and pottery I got into, and music and cooking, and you name it, website design, graphic design, editing, you name it, I got into it.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
that
very
just
similar.
like, it's just like a creative, right?
Yeah, very similar. Like my son was saying today, because I went out and cut my lawn. I love landscaping. I'm creating beautiful landscapes with flowers, and I get in my yard and I cut patterns. And that's my son was saying, "Wow, Dad, the patterns you cut in the grass are so cool." And to your point, anything that allows us to think outside of the box and create, it's attractive. So I'm laughing because I cook as well. Look, I love to make music, and a lot of the things you're mentioning, I love.
Yeah.
Art, I like to draw, paint, sing, dance, write poetry, write music. And the list goes
So
on
funny.
and on.
It's so funny. The list goes on and on. I got into ballroom dancing for a good 4 years. I learned not 17. I learned like 13 different dances. These are the things, but, and who knows? People that are listening are probably going to think we're crazy, wacko, whatever. But like, when you're a creator, you create.
Yes. And with the tools today, there's no limit to what you can create, because you don't have to, before you would have to know a lot about a lot to create things, whereas today you just need to understand how to prompt and clearly articulate your idea and allow the technology to do all the stuff for you.
Yeah, it's insane. It is so cool. I mean, we could be film directors, we could be writing, we could be making mini documentaries. There's so many things we could be doing now. And then you know, just with music. So we could go down a whole rabbit hole there. But I want to talk about this hopium. Where is this hopium habit? Tell me about that.
Yeah, people are addicted to hope. A business has structure. It's its own entity that has structure. And so many small business owners, I see them, Julie, they're really good about whatever that thing is that they do, but they don't put together the right systems, processes, accountabilities, checks and balances where you can run the business on predictability versus hope. And they have so many balls in the air, right? I talk about the triplets, right? I think I told you about the triplets. I'm a do, gonna do, and wanna do. Like, I'm gonna do this, never do it. I wanna do this, sounds good, right? And when people do that and don't have a clear cut, step by step laid out strategy, what they create for themselves is they desire time freedom, financial freedom, but they've created a glorified job, a lot of stress, and just running in circles because they're hoping something happens. We know that if you're tracking, I call them your success metrics. Some may call it key performance indicators. Whatever you're doing, whether it's right or wrong, just track it. Right. So eventually you're going to know if it took me to speak with 300 people and 300 people turned into, 10 conversations, and those 10 conversations turned into one client that yielded me $3,000. I now have a success metric that's predictable, because if I keep doing that over and over again, I should get that result versus hoping someone refers me a person, or I hope someone mentions my name. Or if I'm having a conversation with the prospect, I hope they ask me, to hire me, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. They're addicted to that hopium.
The hopium. Yeah. And this is the hard part, the consistent action.
Yeah.
Like figuring out, okay, so you made the $3,000 on the one person. Now, how did you do that? And just repeat that thing over and over and over again. And, I have a program that I work on with people. We do time management. And so we're looking at time. How much time are you working on lead generation? People get comfortable. They get a couple clients and then they forget that, they have to have their sales engine running at the same time. You can't stop the sales engine just because you have clients. It doesn't work like that because clients don't stay forever.
Right. And that's what it happens. They think that the client's going to stay forever. And because they don't have systems that are duplicatable and repeatable, they shift their focus. So it's like, okay, I need to get clients. All right, I got some clients. Now I need to obsess about trying to service them, but they don't have a predictable, repeatable, even fulfillment process. So it's kind of like this. And the reason I know is because I used to do this. So there's not judgment. It's from experience of me failing so much, doing what many of you are doing today, right? So before you show up for a client call, it's like, okay, you're preparing, you're frantic, you have the call, and it's like, okay, I hope I delivered value. Did you get value today? They say yes. Whew. And then you got to go figure out what to do for the next call. So they take their eye off of as you said, that ball of consistent prospecting so that people know that I exist, and then consistent sales. They're just focused on trying to keep that client as long as possible. Then the client leaves, and now they're broke, and now you got to start this thing all over again. And it's why a lot of people don't last in our industry.
It's so hard, Malcolm. It's so hard. As you're talking, I'm like rehearsing in my mind. I'm remembering how hard it was to get to here.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. If anybody saw, if anyone had the ability to pull the curtain to watch me over the last 4 years, they would be like, oh my God, Julie, what are you doing? Hours and hours of constant attention to my business. I'm talking 7 days a week. I'm
Yeah.
talking like 15 hours a day. There was no rest for the weary. And like now I'm on the, I mean, who knows if you're on the other side, right? I have developed an understanding. Me and my business have an understanding now.
It takes time though, right? Because you got
Yeah.
to go through some stuff with your business,
Oh yeah.
right?
Like it's like they're a person, right? Me and my business, we have an understanding now.
Yes.
All right, we do. We have an understanding. And I have the clarity of what it looks like. But going through that, it takes some time to develop that.
Mm.
It's a long journey. And if you don't have the grit,
Yep.
you will be faced with all of your insecurities and I don't want to say demons, but yes, all of it. You'll be faced with yourself. You will be faced with yourself.
Yeah, you can't escape it. I mean, you know how many days where I questioned my value, or how many days I didn't feel good enough, like because it's as you said, we're gluttons for punishment. I mean, there's a lot of punishment along the way.
Yeah.
And the lessons that you learn from failure, right? Doesn't mean that you failed. It's just that more often than not, number one, we're solving problems. We're putting out a bunch of fires, but there's lessons there if you're open to learning them. Because most people quit, like you said, they don't have the grit and that intestinal fortitude to just keep going. And I tell you what, Julie, for me, it's not just once or twice or 10 times or 20 times. My biggest breakthroughs came right after everything was about to fall apart. I mean, I'm facing disaster and I kept going, and then bam, something opened up far beyond what I ever thought was possible.
Yeah. Yes. And I think that's like the truth of the journey of this game, the entrepreneur game.
Yeah.
It's like only the strong survive, but right around the corner can be your biggest breakthrough just in your darkest moment.
Yes.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that worked.
Yes.
Oh
That's
my
where
God.
it is. It's almost like, do you really believe enough? Right? Because why should anyone else believe in me or you or anyone else if you don't believe in yourself to the point that you're going to fight past what seems insurmountable? It's because you fight past that we start getting these scars and these stories that we can tell. So when we're seeing that the people that come behind us that we're helping, we can clearly see where they are, what type of support they need. You can tell by the battle scars, right? I mean, and
Yeah.
the way they're showing up.
It's the battle scars until one day you start looking at your balance sheet and you're like, oh my God, did I just do that last month? Did I just have that kind of month? And it has to be the month, right? Because next month may not be the same. But when you look back and you're like, wow, this is a business now. You know,
Yes.
it's that moment of time where you're like, okay, wait a minute. I actually have a business. It doesn't even make sense for me to go back to work now. That's the moment where you realize that you've done it. The moment when you say, okay, I'm not going to even be able to make this much money at work. Why would I do that? Why would I go back? You know, for me, Malcolm, and I don't know how long have you been an entrepreneur? How many years?
Oh, wow. On and off. This last journey's been 12 years. Prior to that, I had a good 10-year run. So call it 25 years altogether.
That's a long time. Like I'm only in this like 3.5, 4 years full time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just got my sea legs. Okay.
Okay.
I just
Let's
got
go.
them. Yeah. I just got them. And the whole time I was doing it, because I spent my whole career in corporate America, like over 20 years getting a paycheck from someone else. Consistent money coming
Yes.
in over and over again. It's so easy. It's so easy. You just like go to work, you do the thing, and they give you a paycheck.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, I decided I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to do this thing now. And let me tell you, I was quitting every day for 2 years. Every day I was quitting. Every day I'm doing my business, I'm looking for jobs. And I'm in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I really don't want a job. I don't want to go get a job. I really want to do this, and I would like talk. It was a battle between my old self and my new self. And
Yeah.
we were fighting for the death. It was like, until the moment of time where you're like, oh, wait, okay, no. I have something here. That's
It's that our brains are doing what it's designed to do, right? It's looking for patterns of familiarity, and it's looking to protect us from, when it's anything you're doing that's different or new, it just shuts us down and gives us all the reasons we can't do it. And that's a tough battle that never goes away, because as you go to your next level, which is a level above what you haven't done, the same stuff starts to happen over and over and over again. I remember my dream job became available. This was after I left. I walked away. I remember on a Saturday morning, I just said, I'm done. I was in the automobile industry. I should be a general manager in the car business. And I quit. Julie, oh my God. I was probably 2 or 3 years in.
uh-huh.
I had $3.74 in my bank account.
Oh my God.
And my old owner of the dealership called me with my dream job. I mean, the salary was amazing. I went and interviewed, and he said, what you been up to? I said, I've invested, $250,000 in my personal and professional growth. And he bust out laughing. Like, what? Why would you waste money on stuff like that? And that moment, I knew. See, he remembered me from 3 years ago, and time stopped with him. And I walked out. I said, I'm not going to take this job. I knew at that point I was unemployable.
Yes.
I became unemployable because what it told me is he was stuck in time. He remembered Malcolm from 3 years ago, and then Malcolm from 3 years ago had grown.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing at him like, you're the same person. Why would I go backward? And literally the next day, I signed my first $60,000 a year client. She put down $27,500, paid me $3,000 a month. I gave her like a scholarship, but that proves the point that you're saying. If you just stick in there and hang in there and don't allow those challenges that seem insurmountable to get you off course. There's parking spaces on that journey to success. There's lots of parking spaces. Park, but back up and get back on the journey, right? And just never give up.
Yeah. The unemployable thing's kind of funny because I often think of that like, oh my gosh, I'm unemployable now. Like, who's going to hire me as a full-time employee? They can't. Actually, I don't have time for that.
Mm-mm.
I don't have time for that. I got to be here with you, Malcolm, on the podcast.
There we go.
How am I going to go get a job? Like, I have a job. I work for myself. It's just so interesting, like the journey. It's so interesting. So wait, we got to go back in time for a minute. We just went back in time, Malcolm. Let's go back to the music industry. You said you worked. I just want to talk about it just for a hot minute.
Okay.
All right. So tell the audience a little bit about what you used to do.
Oh, I love music. I used to sing, write, and produce music. In fact, at 19, I owned a record label. And I started promoting concerts, and started with talent shows. Then we started promoting concerts, and I used to sing professionally. I belonged to a group. It was called Teen Production. And then there was a lip syncing contest called Putting on the Hits. Ooh. And our group won. In fact, one of the members in that group was Jada Pinkett. I don't know if Will Smith. Yeah, she was in our group.
Wow. And
then we changed the name to UPI as we started becoming not so teenagers. And I got the privilege of working with a lot of artists, a lot of professional artists. Again, going back to that creativity. I'm a creative. In fact, I mean, I've been long out of the music industry. My family still thinks, that every time we come together, they want me to sing, and I'll sing at, family events or for friends or whatever. But at my wedding, I wrote a song. It's called I Do.
Okay.
So, when you're exchanging your vows and, they come to my God and you say, well, do you promise to do this or whatever? And you say, I do. Well, as right when my turn came to say I do, the music came on and I sang I do to my bride to be.
Okay, and we're going to hear it right now, I think.
What?
I think we're going to hear it right now. I thought you just did the whole setup, Malcolm. You're setting us up to hear this.
She was supposed to be talking about business. Now she's going to have me singing. Okay. Audience, listen, this, when I'm done, I'm just going to give you one verse. You'll know why I no longer sing and why I focus on growing small businesses. But it's called I Do, right? So remember that they said, okay, Malcolm, do you take Sharia to be your wife? And then I said, God must have heard my heart because I'm here with you right now. I can't believe this day has come. Feels like a dream come true, and so I promise that I'll keep my heart forever in your arms, 'cause I know you're the one that he has made for me. And so I say, I do promise to keep you warm at night. And so I say, I do promise to let you win almost every fight. So now I do promise to keep you first, 'cause I know you're worth more than any man has ever dreamed of. All right, so that's the first verse.
That's awesome. That's a bit, yay! Okay, the audience is all clapping. Yes. So now, did you record that song?
Oh yeah, I did record it.
Oh, okay, good. Because I'm obsessed with Suno, whatever you want to call it. You should definitely play with that. Maybe if we have time, I'm going to play you my song, my wedding song. I wrote a wedding song. I actually sang it at my wedding and 7 of my friends' weddings.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I'll play that for you, but after the podcast. So that's cool. See, we have this background. I used to work with KRS-One. I'm going to get him on the podcast one day.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. And then I told you that Grandmaster Kaz wrote me a rap.
You did. So now it's your turn.
Oh, dear gosh. It's very short. If anybody want to know who I be, I'm the J to the U to the L-I-E. This is my first rhyme, but not my last. Gotta give props to Grandmaster Kaz for lacing this paper with this pen. From this day on, he'll be my friend. And with any luck, maybe next time, I'll be back with my own rhyme.
Let's go. Mic drop, Julie.
Oh my gosh, we were waiting in the studio for KRS-One to come. He was recording one of his albums. We were hanging out waiting for him. And the Cold Crush brothers were recording with him that night. And I was just hanging out waiting for him because I was his personal assistant. And Grandmaster Kaz looks at me and he's like, Julie, do you want me to write you a rap? And I'm like, yes, I want you to write me a rap. What do you mean? And it was just like this moment. And I just remembered it. I did it for people. It's like my signature rap. And it's been that way for and this was like a long time ago. I want to say almost I would say over 25 years ago, maybe almost 30, but that makes me really old. So,
it makes you seasoned.
Like a fine wine,
like
an aged wine.
There you go.
Oh my
there you
gosh.
go.
So what is the last ingredient here that we need to check in with?
It all comes down to systems, processes. Like really, one of the things as we're talking about our journey and all the failures, it's building a business, a real business, the business of your business. And what we've done is taken all of our failures and lessons, and for the business coach, consultant, and the service-based experts, we just build a business in a box. Now, what is a business in a box? Well, think about a franchise, right? A franchise, why do they win? Well, it's because they have duplicatable, repeatable systems for everything. Marketing, sales, fulfillment, tracking your metrics, all those things already done. But there's that's a great thing. So we say, hey, you know what? If we did the exact same thing, but instead of forcing people to sign these 10-year contracts and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and have limited territories and taking a percentage of their money, and then it's my brand. We'll just do the same thing and brand it to them and just be in the background teaching them how to, utilize those systems, processes, methodology, technology. And we found that the business coaches and consultants don't want to do this stuff anyway, Julie. You know what they want to do? They want to coach.
Yeah.
So the business of the business, let them do what they do well. Let them go coach, help the small business owner, that family who's driving our economy, help them get the support they need, and allow us to build all the infrastructure, the processes, the methodology, the technology. And so instead of duct taping all these things together to try to create a system, they just tap into one that's already been proven, and that's been working for the last 12 years now.
Wow. What's it called?
It's Profit Advisor. Look, if you look at my hat, see that? Right there. So my hat, look at this.
I see it. Yes.
Profit Advisor, right? And so what happens, our platform is called Profit Advisor, and every piece of software and technology that a business coach, consultant, or that B2B service-based expert would need anyway, we've built it all into one platform. And so the software does most of the work and the sales, the marketing, the fulfillment. That's why, they can keep clients for years, charge high fees, appropriate fees, instead of like that up and down sales cycle and scrambling, because we've already failed for them. And then what happens, they become a certified profit advisor when they master the methodology and have driven a certain amount of success for small business owners. And now that puts them in a position where they have earned that prestigious designation of being able to actually go out there and drive results for a small business owner. And that means a lot, because there's too many fake gurus and too many people out here that are slapping business coach or whatever on their business card, putting up a website, and they're taking people's money. And I can't stand it. I mean, we've all been burned by somebody. I'm fed up. I know people that love this industry like you are fed up with this. And so we just chose to do something about it.
I love it. Okay. Well, where can my audience find out more about what you're doing and how to get involved?
I believe the first step is, remember we talked about earlier, our methodology where we can find that multiple six figures of hidden revenue. I wrote that in my book. My book is called, it's the Profit Advisor, Massive Action. And what I'll do is I'll give your audience a free copy of the book. Now, here's the thing. On our where they can go to the book, I'm going to give you a website. There aren't any upsells. It's none of that stuff. It's just, I'm on your podcast. It's a gift to your audience. Get the book. I mean, these strategies are so simple. These aren't, again, you don't have to like increase your marketing spend or spend money on ads or go hire a bunch of employees or do all these, complicated things. It's taking what you already do and you're finding a different way you may look at something than what you've been exposed to. And I want to have that small business owner have the same unfair advantage as the big guy. So here's where you go. You go to 100K, so the number 100K leak, like a leaky faucet, 100Kleak.com, and download the book. Once you read the book, it's an easy read. If someone wants to reach out to us or need some support or whatever, proglobalba.com is our website. You can contact us that way.
I love it. I love it. What would you like to say in closing for today?
This has been fun, and I have never sang on someone's podcast.
Malcolm Reid.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, this has been fun. I don't know if I've done my rap on my podcast. I might have, but not in a while.
I'm going to say this to the audience. You can do this. You were built to be successful. I mean, the amount of resilience that we have as people, the adaptability we have as people, just make up your mind that whatever it is you choose to do that's going to give you to make, your dreams, your goals, your aspirations for you and your family, whatever they are, just get started. Just start. And here's what I'm going to challenge you to do.
Yeah.
Get 1% better per week. Per week. If you do that and you still take 2 weeks off, you will be 67% better at the end of the year than where you were when you started on that journey. And that all of us can do. You can get 1% better. I know you can. Go out there and be great.
I love it. I love it. Malcolm, thank you so much for being a guest.
Thanks
on
for
the
having
Stay
me.
on Course podcast.
Thanks for having me, Julie.